Hey Goobs, it's me Jiv, aka the Furries recommended for some apparent reasons. So, in today's video we're going to look at a bit of a personal topic, or kind of, but it's kind of like going to be a bit of a personal review. Now, I wanted to make this video to be, well, I guess you could say a positive review of the fandom. Now, I know this fandom has its issues, I'm not going to say it doesn't, but it's a community that has definitely changed me as a person. Because I've definitely really have enjoyed this community, even though it has its flaws. I'm not going to say it doesn't. I mean, to me, in my opinion, every community definitely has flaws. I've been in a few communities I can kind of vouch. Now, I want to try to make this video as quick as I possibly can, because I don't want to bore you guys with like me pretty much glazing this fandom all the time. Well, for like a long time anyway, because I want to try and get this out of the way as quick as possible, so that's what I'm going to do. So, the best thing that I can start and begin with this video is definitely start off with a pretty positive note, and that is speaking about the beginning of my adventure, I guess, for being a furry. Because at the time, I was actually alone. I was like always alone. Well, I had friends, but we weren't really speaking that much, I don't think. Like maybe like once every 3 days, but like it wasn't that active. And to be honest, it's completely understandable. Like, you know, sometimes you don't want to be in the same friend group for like so long. And while I was like there, pretty much barely speaking to anybody, I was like wondering, what can I do? Because I was just sat in my bed doing absolutely nothing, and well, I was just watching YouTube. And I think, and I can even remember this moment like so vividly. I was watching a beta video, and I was watching a few other furry videos, and need to remind you, I was not a furry at the time. I was kind of a bit of an anti a little bit. I was a fully fledged one, but I definitely had negative views with furries at this time, because I thought there were people that dressed up as animals and did weird shit. That was also by someone lying to me as well, so, you know, that's nice. But anyway, going through a few videos, and when I was watching like the beta video and like watching the like other furry videos, I kind of had a funny thought, and I was like, hold on, I actually enjoy this content, and I'm not even a furry, so why the fuck am I watching furry videos? And it was really funny, because I thought, hold on, am I actually a furry? Because at this time I thought it was like an identity thing. I'm not even joking. Yes, this is how like far-fetched I was from like the truth of what a furry actually was. And when I was like doing, because I did like a quiz on like online. And when I did the quiz, I was like, holy shit, I'm a furry, whoa! And, you know, it didn't take long for me to realize, oh wait, it's just a hobby. Yes, it took me like a month of being into the community to realize, oh wait, it's just a hobby. But anyways, we'll get to that. And I was like instantly like pretty hooked with this community, and I want to try and interact with it as much as I can. So I looked up, you know, places to socialize with furries, and one of them was Amino. Now, I've heard that people have negative experiences with Amino. I understand, honestly I do, because I can understand where people can come from when they say they don't really agree or like Amino. But with me, it was an opposite experience. I actually had a pretty positive one. Like, I did run into a creep or two. I'm not even saying I won't. I did run into a creep or two of them, I think. I'm not too sure. Either way, I met a lot more positive people than creeps, and I actually really enjoyed it, actually. Because, you know, if I didn't like somebody, I'd just normally block them. That's just normally how I went with my day, and that's just how I carried on doing. I was like pretty much socializing a lot inside the community. You know, I was in like a load of group chats. I was like, you know, saying hi and stuff. And at the time, my persona, which is the one that you're looking at right now, hello, I was actually called Jivry, not Jiv. I kind of shortened the name. I don't know why. I've kind of forgot. But yeah, so I was originally named Jivry, and I kind of socialized a lot with the community. You know, it was kind of fun and nice, and it was pretty enjoyable. And to be honest, I won't lie, I kind of really got a bit of a buzz out of it. And I always loved just opening Amino and just talking to like random, well not necessarily random, because it would be the same people or similar people every time, because they would be dedicated to the group chat as much as me. So it's kind of fun going back and forth with some furries. It was really fun. But however, though, at one point I just kind of distanced myself from Amino. I think what also did it for it was that, you know, there was also a lot of trolls that would join and just be dicks. It wasn't necessarily underwhelming per se, it was just really annoying. I think my other part that I really enjoyed about this fandom, that definitely did push me into a positive direction, and it's a bit of a serious one, is that my mental health was kind of shit. And also, I can't really social pretty well. I'm very awful. I'm kind of awkward when socialing. well, socializing, when I realised that there was a community that was so welcoming, aka the furry fandom, I really enjoyed being there because I felt very included when I was like DMing, well not DMing, but like, you know, like being in group chats and doing posts and stuff, and people just, you know, really liking the posts. Like, it felt very welcoming and super relaxed. Like, I never had an issue with it, never did. I think some of the things that I really enjoyed definitely would be the fact of making my own OC. Now, I actually did have my own OC in the Halo community a little bit, but it wasn't as fully fleshed out as the furry, as my persona. Like, honestly, the fact that I could actually design the persona the way I wanted, and there was no limitations or restrictions, was peak. Honestly, so fucking peak. And that was probably what did it for me as well, because I realised, hold on, I can socialise in this community, I can make my own persona, and no one would probably judge it. It was pretty fucking amazing. And also, it was also the fact that I could also have my own creativity as well to the persona, and that's what I did. Well, even though Jiv is not that creative, but, you know, it's shush. As also, on top of that, I also really enjoyed the fact of the fursuiting side, or technically that the main culture around the furry community, like enjoying anthropomorphic animals and stuff like that. I really connected, I really got hooked onto it pretty quick, like, in a positive way. And I also really enjoyed the fact of fursuiting. As someone who, and I need to remind you, the 360, no, the 180 is kind of wild here because I literally disliked fursuiting so much. I said it was a weird fetish thing. It was all like this, da 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 da. But now that I look at it, when I joined this community, I was like, hold the fucking phone. This looks adorable as fuck. Like, it's kind of crazy how the 180 just changed me as a person. Like for me, just generally shitting on it and calling it like a weird, terrible, poopy shit thing, to me, just saying, okay, that's fucking adorable. I want more of that, please. I beg. And that's just kind of how it just built up from there, as well, on top of that. Now, I won't lie, these have just been a few positive points, but I definitely want to just say is that as someone like, you know, who has some social issues, finding a community that is very welcoming sometimes can be kind of difficult. Like, obviously every community can be just as welcoming as a furry fandom. Like, definitely, I'm not saying it can't be, but it was a real jump from being in a community where you had to like do all the searching and looking, just for, you know, when you do finally find that community, it's pretty chill. Like, that was kind of how I got for like the furry fandom and probably other communities, but the furry fandom just did it way better because they were very accepting in the terms of like LGBTQ and stuff like that. Speaking of, while I'm also on that topic, yeah, this fandom really opened my eyes to who I could actually really be. Now, it's opened my eyes about a lot of things about who I am as a person. Like this is also why I glaze this fandom a lot sometimes, because it has definitely helped me find who I am. Because at the time, before I joined this community, I was saying I was straight, I'm not gay or whatever, da 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 da. And now I've kind of realised, hold on, I like men, but I like women. So I didn't know what that meant for me, and now, well, this furry community actually has opened that. Now, normally it would be the gay, fruity, LGBTQ community. Obviously, I'm not saying it isn't, but that was kind of the thing, is that the LGBTQ community was technically in the furry community, and that's what made me learn about, you know, my identity pretty much. Pretty cool, actually. I really liked that, and I think it was also the fact that how really accepting it really was. It was so nice and so friendly, honestly. No bad issues from the community at all. When it came down to like the LGBTQ side, honestly, very nice. And if I'm honest, I would actually really would love to live it again, honestly. It was so nice. Like, those are just a few positive impacts in my life about this community. It definitely has helped my mental health, because the community definitely has opened my eyes for, you know, for being who I am, but it's also made me socialise and not feel left out and be a black sheep, because I'm like an odd one out. I feel like I'm always like an odd one out and stuff. So the fact that I'm not, I don't feel like that, and I don't feel like, I guess you could say, singled out and alone, definitely improved that, because I realised I could just like join a group chat and everyone would be so welcoming and friendly. Like sure, there's definitely other communities that are like that. I'm not saying it's just the furry fandom, but like, honestly, when you get to experience it for the first time, it is so heartwarming. Like, I know other people have their different experiences with this community. It will not be like mine. It'll be different. It'll 100% be different. And people might have negative experiences and other things on top of that. And I do actually understand that, I do. But man, when I joined this community, it was such a vibe, such an amazing time. And honestly, would I recommend it to someone? Yes, but I would tell them to be careful. 100% I would tell them to be careful. And, well, and then just give some other things on top of that. But I don't know if I'll make that another video and stuff like that for another day. But anyway, I'm gonna go now. Hopefully you enjoyed my video, and I hopefully, you know, you probably either are a new furry or you're probably already a furry or whatever, but I do hope this video has helped you in some way. But anyway, I do hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.